Well, it's a 3117. January 12th, 2021. Anyway, the Lord put in my heart to try to recover a dream I had actually a couple of months ago. I think I briefly shared with John Tim. I was meant to write it down. That's why didn't do anything about it in between time, but I never was able to have a heart to settle down to write it. The details of the dream began to become more and more blurry, so I wanted to try to record it before I totally forgot it. So I think it also inspired relating to today's topic when we're talking about the death to self, things that nature, through the years, Lord told me in different fashion, different phases, different angles of what it means become a crucified. Then later on, what it means to be a witness on a martyr, in a sense. Those teachings in different intensities, different realities. But sometimes, like being a martyr, more understand what it means to be a witness. But being a martyr, which is the same word in Greek, means martyr. Witness is the same thing, to die or devote to the course, ready to die, something that nature. And you can study the word yourself, so. But suffice to say, it's always been a little bit only conceptual to me rather than, in real reality. But God has a unique way to teach us and, make things alive for us. In this case, the dream evidently was a tool he used to really broaden and also, instill in me a further understanding or expanded understanding, even a willingness to be the one he called me to be, I guess, if you will. But the further is also a good tool on a perspective, if you will, like a spectacle, to look at the scriptures, what happened to those who before us, died for the gospel, died for the Lord, or served the Lord, in different capacities. These things make the scripture alive for me, to a certain extent. So let me, without further ado, let me talk about the dreams. So I had it again about a couple of months ago. I don't quite recall the particular sequences because this dream was not just have a dream, as rather an answer a prayer. God not sometimes teach us in different ways. Sometimes I would ask God to teach me certain things, reveal certain things to me. He will do that. Sometimes either you most likely in dreams actually. So and in a sense I know it's a spiritual dream. That's what I try to convey. In the dream, I was a witness of a particular scene playing out in the public square. That's why I'm afraid to losing the details. I don't remember the time, the dresses, basically the locale, all the particular time when this happened. I'm a little bit confused actually. I think it's appeared to be modern day, but I have a strong impression, something like the things happened to Stephen basically in the time in Acts in Jerusalem, and I begin to project myself more like a Paul, looking at maybe not actively as like Paul to do something about him. In this actually, no, I'm not like Paul, but I am a witness. I'm more like another disciple. Okay, I'm on Stephen's side, but seeing this young man was basically put to death. He died for the gospel, and there was a mob. Did harm to him. Obviously, was a very, very tragic and dramatic. It played in my head And it was shocking to me and a little bit cruel and very unsettling. And I walk away saddened by the death of this brilliant young man. And I thought, wow, what a great example for one to just die for the Lord. Now, in the dream, you don't think along the term, but being a witness and a mother, you just seeing the story taking place. And then while I'm thinking about this, the Lord began to impress me. Basically, something that actually no, the Lord didn't do anything at this point. That instantly my dream shifted to the next scene. I found myself in a campus with many people around. People like a university, but evidently everybody was trying to learn from God. So you can see in the seminary. I've never been in the seminary, so I don't know what they look like. But the people everybody was very pure-hearted, want to know God and show great respect to those who serve Him. And that's what the case in this case. It was school of sense, if you will. So I hate to use modern universities or set up the man's education to compare to what this setting is about. This is literally a school of a true disciple, if you've had to use that word. And so as this walk around, and this is surprising to me. This whole God shaka sometimes, just literally beyond our wild expectations. And some friends basically begin to spot me, and they begin to call out, here is a mother. Here is a one like dead or something with the Lord. And I was walking around. I'm still well alive. I'm not dead, So, but they were not listening to me. I was just a plain person, so simple, another head in the school, but somehow the reputation was spread around. It seems people know about me, and more people are gonna gather, talk about it very loud. It's just like make a spectacle of me. I'm very awkward. I don't know what to say, But something, my mind at this point is not about the awkwardness. Where's struck my mind there is, what is really happening to me that causes sin? People, why they treating me differently? They show extreme honor and respect, almost like a young man want to talk his respect teacher, stuff like that. So I just don't know what's happened to me. I have no idea why they show that kind of approach to me. I don't know even who I am, at this point. I was totally confused. Then the Lord at that time began to assure me, said, yes, you are my mother. I said, what? Now then in the dream, mother does not register me to be a witness or anything. In my idea, in my mind, is mother's dead. A man died, physically died. So I began to argue with the Lord while facing all this commotion. I said, no, Lord, I'm not dead. I'm not sure I'm willing to die for that, like that young man for you. I'm not there. I'm far from it. And the Lord has a way to silence you and making sense to you. You just, all your reasoning, all your contest just falling apart. That's what he said. And no, he said, in my eyes, you are my mother. And basically told me, forget about the struggle and go ahead, face the people and try to encourage the people to celebrate this occasion with them. I was, I began to say, okay, Lord, we very haphazardly try to engage. I don't know what to do, and I don't know my story even. I don't know how to approach people like that, who treated me with that kind of honor or reception. At this point, very happily, Brother Tim Pinson showed up. He seems, acting some kind of in between, I guess. He just knows about me, and I don't know what's the caliber or the role he played in this setting, but he was there, very happy, very excited that I'm being received by these people in this good honor, in this color, basically, in this light, rather. And he was just begin to explain them, engage them, encourage them, and begin to share my testimony, which I don't know what kind of testimony I have. And I was confused still. I'm just saying, well, I don't understand why they call me a martyr, and why Tim just so happily jumping down the conclusion and associated people in terms of my life like that. So with this, but I'm happy to see him, was happy for me as a true friend. And I'm happy to see the young man all charged out to love the Lord and zealously seeking the Lord, wanted to honor. Seems those are supposed to have some kind of honor in their midst. So awkward it is. I'm just pondering on this. What is this? Why am I a martyr? So that's when I wake up. Before I wake up, I remembered. I began to suddenly link to the word martyr in the Old Testament. The New Testament actually means witness. That's a blurry point. That's where I carry through. And I think prior to that, I had something happen to me. In the morning times, normally what I do is I pray and I try to. Then in prayer time, you heard such a thing, you have some question to ask. So my routine is that I don't want to project my own thoughts in it. Normally, I just go back to sleep, ask the Lord to do something, to reveal the thing to me. I think at that particular morning, I recorded a bit. I continually to ask the Lord what means Paul talking about he's dead to the world, he's dead to himself, but Christ alive in him. So not just merely crucified to the world, crucified to him, but when he said, not me, living, but Christ lives in me. So I just don't quite understand that. I mean, I theoretically, imaginatively can grasp that. But I don't know what that means in my real life. Every day I had to eat, to walk, to sometimes even sing, and for short, and the struggles, So, but to have Christ live in you, I can't easily equate my simple common life, even sometimes far for short God's glory, goodness, and kind of life, to equivalent to, as Paul said, he's not living, but Christ lives in him. At the same time, contrary to that is, he said, I want to know his resurrection. I want to live out his fullness of his life. He said, I'm not attaining unto thee yet, but just running forward. So here it seems a contradiction, So one side he said, not me, Christ living in me, has a boldness to claim that. On the other side, he is humbly said, you know what, even after all these years of the services, even chains for the gospel, that's in Philippines, I'm ready to depart from the world, have no reservation for my life, whatever. And yet I'm still struggling, I'm straining forward to take a hold the mystery of Christ, especially the life is a resurrection. So to me, I was not able to fully reconcile. And I think in that kind of, not confusion, I don't think God ever confusing, but just to know the mystery, to know the reality of how Paul conducts life in the world as a servant to God, as a son of God. And to try to hang on to that reality and to facilitate that reality in my life. That's where I was before the dream. I think God gave the dream, maybe is giving some answer to that question, or that, my self-made dilemma. I'm not so sure. I'm still thinking about what it means to be a mother, what it means, what's really mean, because the Lord is not talking about the physical death, obviously. I don't understand, Revelation other place on the beheaded company who reign with him in a certain way. I understand it's not a physical death per se, but a spiritual death that is, get rid of the old mind, the old mindset, the old way of thinking, if you will, and embrace the way how Christ think and live and act as a Son of God in the, on earth as a human being, basically. Now, here I don't want to project any philosophical, theoretical conclusion. That's to try to will God's education to me through this dream, what it means to die to yourself, what it means to have Christ considered as you dead. He said you are dead. Well, I know I'm not dead. There is again a dilemma there for me, because I'm just my own person. I'm not doing anything. After the dream, there is a hint given to me. Is relating to a former dream that I had many years ago about Jack Lander, where I was witnessing the people ascending, descending, and they offered me a testimony. The Lord leading me, ascending, descending, actually descending from heaven on this lander, seeing people try to ascend on this lander. I think that vision or that dream was recording the kingdom's side. So, but the people who are doing that in different age, and they're doing the same thing. They all have the same testimony. They said, first thing, that they don't allow their own life unto themselves, basically. They reserve nothing from the Lord. I don't quite remember the second one. That one basically stand out to me. They reserve nothing from the Lord. And I think that is a criteria the Lord seems try to equate or link in the sense of the martyrdom in the recent dream, in this dream that it tried to depict. Because, don't try to be boastful, or it's a matter of fact, I decided in my life not to reserve anything for myself, just, live whatever the life that lay before me. I don't have a future. It's a future for my life, is my future. Now that's easy to say, but for me it was a mystery and a huge struggle, So, strong-willed man, a man continue to try to achieve something, get it somewhere, have some stability, even some comfort, and to not have your future planned out for yourself, or even guaranteed by the Lord for yourself. For sure, internal things are believed upon by me, and I know it will never be robbed of me. But in this earth, on this end of spectrum life, what the whole future hold, certain prophetic insight will be given to me. Happy things or non-happy things, regardless, it just give you a place you had to entertain some kind of projection what your future look like. And oftentimes it's not necessarily unsettling or troublesome to me. It's just curious what I look like. What should I do? So do I have a say in it? So those kind of things. Sorry, just speaking fast. Just want to wrap up real quick. I don't have much time. I need to eat something. So anyway, that's what I try to say. Basically, I think in this kind of revelation the Lord gave to me is a martyrdom in His side. If not the physical death, is rather there's a similar picture of life that you just give up your life into His hand and reserve nothing for yourself. And the other one I think is to trust God exclusively with everything. Now, the second one, that's where I'm struggling. I don't necessarily reserve anything for myself. I don't have a struggle on that, because But I told the Lord, already my life had to end. There's nothing for me. But the second one is, allow God, reserve nothing to love God, to serve God. That's something, it's a little different, It's more than just you don't do things. It's just something you had to do something, It's more not just set aside or set your life apart from something. That seems really easy, but to set yourself apart for something, into something, you don't have much to say or freedom to do what you want. That is hard. Right now, as talking before I wrap it up, I think about what Jesus taught to Peter when he resurrected and with them. He said in John the Gospel, in the end of the book, he said, when you are young, he said, speaking Peter, you will put on clothes, your own clothes, and go where you want to go. But when you're getting old, somebody strip you, basically. Somebody else going to clothe you, and you will go where you don't want to go. I always excited and want to serve the Lord, but at the same time terrified by that kind of thing. Not just dead on the cross per se, but what that look like. I mean, that's a life is full uncertainty, and I'm a little bit apprehensive still today as I'm talking about. I don't know what that look like. So, however, in the end of the day, I had to give God's praise, give God honor, for He knows how to enlighten us, how to teach us, how to prepare our heart, how to expand our capacity to a greater capacity for His work, for His purpose to flow out, which is my prayer. Yes, Lord, let me serve you with whatever you want me to do, and to be. So, by all possibility, I know I'm lazy, for sure, in many ways, not necessarily zealous of it, but I'm willing. Amen. I will do what you want me to do. So, and be the one you call me to be. So, in that, I wrap up this sharing. May God bless you if you happen to hear this. Bye.